welcome to the Let's Go There podcast, where no topic is off limits and no opinion is too spicy. And yes, we might just step on a few toes along the way. I'm your co-host, Code Thee, and this is...
I'm your boy, Rel, a.k.a. Rel the Great.
I'm KB. I like to stir the pot, so call me Chef. And the title of today's episode is Stop All That Crying, Boy. You'll get no pity from me. And the question of the day for this week's podcast is, why is crying considered a weakness amongst boys? Let's go there.
Bet. All right.
Hold on. Before we go there, I got something to say.
What's that?
Man, it's Father's Day. Hey, that rhymed a little bit. I got
bet.
something to say. It's Father's Day. Hey,
Oh, man. This
Hey,
dude is
man.
stupid.
Lil
Happy
Wayne,
Father's
everybody.
Day.
Right.
Thanks. Happy Father's Day to y'all fellas, man.
I appreciate it. Same to you, bro.
Happy Father's
Yes, sir.
Day to all the fellas that's listening to the podcast.
Hey,
Salute.
Before we get into the Let's Go There, I got some questions for y'all.
All right. What you
Y'all
got?
ready for it?
Let's hear it.
Second.
All right. How has being a father changed you? I want a good thing and a potential bad thing. Because, you know, everybody just want to give you the good things all the time.
I mean, I feel you.
Yes, I'll start because I already got the bad thing in my mind.
All right.
The bad thing for me is not even a potential, it's real life. I'm irritated all the fucking time. So being around little people all day asking me pointless questions and all that type of shit, it makes me less receptive to people outside of this house. So I don't like adults. I don't want to be around people because I'm so irritated all the time. On the flip side, I do live, I didn't know I got twin boys. I didn't know I was going to live vicariously through them for the things that they do that I didn't get to do. Like they started T-ball and I'm like all in. I'm like, dang, I wish I would have played. And I'm watching them, encouraging them. So the things that they do, some of it is nostalgic because I did it as a child, but other things is like, I'm really living through them in a good way. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. That's the one thing I think I wish I might have, I could have experienced as a boy dad, but the Lord had other so he was like, nah, I got something special for you, bro. And I never would have thought that this was where I was at, had plans of having a boy at first and all these other things. We met the wife had all these plans. Being a timid kid coming up and growing to be more confident, more of a jock, if you will. I wasn't a full jock. If some people they're strong in that side of the world, but for me, I was a little in between. I was kind of mellow, and I got tougher as life went on. Never would have thought that when the Lord hit me with all these girls, that I would have softened up. I didn't soften up, and I'm so doggone. When it come to them, now don't get me wrong. Don't play with me. Don't get me wrong. Now, you know what I mean? They make me softer than I've ever been in life. In my entire life, I get more emotional. I'm more emotionally intelligent. I gotta be conscious of the tone most of the time. And they got me where I'm at a point in life where it's like my heart's on my sleeve everywhere I go. I always worry about them. I can't stop thinking of the possibilities and just being a protector. There's so many different aspects of being a dad and a girl dad at that make me question every move. I'm very analytical at times, and with them I have to be less analytical and more emotionally sound. I have to be intentional in everything, and that's a good practice, of course, with relationships as well, but especially with these little girls. I gotta show them what it is to be loved by a man. So it's definitely created a different perspective in my life. I had the dream of being a boy dad and being, sharing those experiences that I had, being rough, you know, and all of those fun things you get to do with your sons. You know, I see my fellow, you know, my other brothers out there, those that I consider to be brothers that have sons, they get to do these things that I went racing your son, you know. I always want to do all of that.
Pulling hamstrings, it's fun. Yeah,
yeah. I won't pull hamstrings too, but hey, you know, maybe my girls, they'll probably be fast enough at a certain point where they could keep this old man in check. But I had that dream, I had that plan, and God was like, nah, bro, I got something for you. Hold on. And he hit me with these girls. He said, nah, I'm gonna level you out. You know, you've been having a lot of this testosterone in your life. Let me give you all this estrogen. You got a whole household full of estrogen and emotions, and yeah, go ahead, hold this. You know, manage this, and that's what I've been doing. So, on the good side, I would say emotionally intelligent. So it's a double-edged sword. While it is stressful, you know, uncomfortable, it is also rewarding and enlightening. You know, a bit of a refreshing feel as a man. You know, because we don't deal with our feelings often. Being able to express them and teach my girls how to communicate, be effective communicators. That is a huge factor in relationships and amongst people. Us as men, we need that, because at the same time, we're logical people. You use your words, those words have meanings. Be intentional with your words. And so I'm working and making that intentional effort to teach my girls how to be effective communicators, express your feelings, you know, don't bottle them up and think we just know what you mean. So that is one of, I think, the most positive pieces out of being a girl dad that I've experienced. And, you know, I find kind of joy in, I get to see them grow, you know, through those hard times. Yeah, aside from that stress of being a dad, you know, dealing with all these emotions, that's the positives though. I like that question.
I got you. Yeah, man, like you, man. I'm a girl dad as well, you know.
Yeah, we got lucky.
For me, man, I'll say the bad, and I've thought about this recently. The bad is kind of like, I don't know if I want to use the word like losing myself.
Yeah.
Cause growing up, being a young adult, even with my wife, you know, growing up as teenagers to adulthood and all those other type of stuff before we had kids, you know, it's like, hey, we deal with each other, but I also got my life on the side as far as like me going to play basketball, me chilling with the partners, whatever, that keeps you grounded. But when you have kids, it's like, when you got kids and a wife, it's like all that shit is backseat. Like, nah, kids got to go to gymnastics today. All right, cool, I can't do nothing. All right, kids got to go to do this on Friday. Yeah, I can't do that either. Wife still need the time in between that. So it's like, all right, shit, well, all the shit that I did like to do is ain't gonna fit right now, you know? So that's the bad. But on the good side, our daddy, when I say our daddy, me and Coty, Kenny, you brother by
another mother.
Love.
Yeah, I got you.
But our daddy used to say, man, unconditional love, you'll get it only when you have kids. He said you'll never understand unconditional love until you have kids. And that shit hit home. Like, every time I look at my kids, I'm like, bruh, ain't nothing you could do to make me stop loving you.
Hey, don't you go get teary-eyed on me. I see you over there.
Nah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, these girl dads are soft as baby shit over here. I mean, God damn. Soft serve ice cream, wet Charmin toilet paper, you name it. These niggas soft.
Well, nah, man, that's just what it is, man. That's just what it is.
That's real.
All right. Question number 2. All right.
Yeah, let's get it.
When was a moment you looked at your kids and felt proud?
Shit. Let me see. What's the most? Okay, I got one. And it wasn't even me looking at them, bro. It was me. Usually with they're yelling all the time. So, I'm in the bathroom away from them in the house. They're in a whole nother room. I could hear them fussing. They going back and forth. And my oldest, she struggles with confidence. This is something that I've learned, that the firstborns, apparently they deal with. Firstborn children often deal with confidence and just that part of their character. They're not as confident as most kids because they have to figure out life first. So usually you see the secondborns and those children after, they're even more confident than the first. And I can see that, like, the truth is there, because in myself, I saw that. And so for her, I'm seeing it firsthand as well. She's going through, she has to figure things out, and she has to find herself. And that also helps her sister. But in this situation, her confidence level is just not always there. Sometimes she's good, sometimes she's not. And when it comes to her sister and speaking up for herself, she's been working on it. And in this particular situation, she was, like, I could see her chest swell up, and she was just like, yeah, nah, don't do that. Stop playing with me type stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, all right. I see you, girl. I yell from the other room. I'm like, go ahead, girl. Go ahead. That's right. You tell her. You tell her, baby.
Oh, man.
So yeah, that was my proud moment. I got a few other ones, when it comes to school and whatnot. It's just I would say the most proud that I usually am is when I can see them grow. I can see their growth from one step to another, especially with school, when I can see them learning a lesson and I see it transition from, hey, I never really got it, to I got it. And she gets all giddy, and like, I love those moments.
I'll say for me, like I said, being a dad of twin boys, my answer is obviously going to be nothing as quite as sophisticated and deep as these girl dads is. We simple over here. I got boys over here. So my most proudest moment or whatever is probably when they stood up to pee for the first time. I mean, that's probably my most proudest moment. Like, one of my sons, he would stand up and pee in the toilet, I was rooting for him. The other son, he was like, oh, I don't want to do it. You want to sit down and shit. I'm like, hey, son, hey, you got to stand up. He would not do it. He was like scared to do it.
Right.
We was outside one day, and my oldest son, he pulled his pants, like, you don't know why boys his age, like, it ain't that. It's
okay,
pants down to the ankles and pee. Like, he was doing that, and I was like, hey, son, you got to pee going out there. Tell my younger son. He was like, he did it, and I was like, yes. That was one of the proudest moments as a dad, period.
Yeah.
I got you. Hey, man. So I don't know why, and maybe this kind of like what Kenny's saying. With my girls, man, I just feel like it's so many proud moments. But one that I can remember for right now is man, my daughter's getting in the pool to learn how to swim. So when it first started, I was out of town. I didn't really get to see it with my eyes, but I saw the video, and my oldest, like, she had a backstory, man, to where she fell in the pool, and like, I think she was like 2, maybe 3. She fell in the pool. My dad jumped in and got her. I mean, this is a crazy moment for me. Like, I broke down crying just thinking about, like, what could have happened if nobody was there, right? But
right.
I think that was traumatizing for her. So even those other moments, she wouldn't really want to get in the pool. She wouldn't want to, like, let me go to learn how to swim. But this time, like, she jumped in her head first. Like, man, look, I'm tired of this shit. I want to learn. Yeah. Jumped in her head first, kicking, all this other type of stuff, and actually doing it. And then the youngest one saw her big sister doing it. She like, shit,
I can do that
put
too.
These floaties on me, man. Put these floaties on me. I got this too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking at these girls like, damn, boy. I'm proud of them for knocking down that wall and
Right.
pushing through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Nah, I'm with you, and I that's exactly what I'm talking about. Those moments of, growth. You get just see it real time. It ain't, there's no video evidence of it. Is where they were and where they've come. Where they came from to where they are now. It's a beautiful thing. Some situations like that, where it's almost poetic. It's like, wow, look at you.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
man.
girl. Yeah,
That's right.
Yep.
All right, next question. Hey, don't you start crying.
Soft ass Negroes, but
I see a little
No, I'm
something in the
good.
corner
I'm
of your
good.
eye.
I'm holding up.
we're gonna have to change the
I'm
name to
holding up.
Kumbaya Podcast. It is too. Kumbaya Sundays.
Come over to the good side.
Oh no, sir, vasectomy.
Come on, KB, you got one more in you.
What?
Get your
I
girl,
literally do
man.
not. Science says I don't. Snip, snip, niggas. It's done. It's finished.
All right, man.
Next question. What do you feel like you can be better as a father? Better at as a father?
Okay.
That's easy, man. For me, probably patience. Sometimes I forget that my kids are 5 years old or whatnot because they're doing so many things that make me feel like they're older than what they are. And so patience when it comes to, like I said, those pointless questions of, Daddy, why is this? Why is that? Or Daddy, watch this. And I'm watching you do like this little crazy ass leg kick in the air. That's like, nigga, get the hell on the ground. Like, and I go, oh shit, nigga, like that was great. So my patience, and especially when I feel like they're not listening or whatever the case may be, like I want you to listen. I want you to have that skill to be able to listen, process what I'm saying, and move out and do it. But they're still 5. So patience is definitely one for me that, yeah.
What I could do better, where I can do better, I would say it's kind of piggybacking that I would just say it's patience. Having the patience, more so recognizing when I'm at my end and asking for help. That would be the best way I can put it. Asking for help from my wife, and I guess in the case where I can't, just breathing through it, because usually if I've had a day and I start off patience with them. I start off patient with them, and it usually builds to a level of like, all right, now, I can't keep doing this now. Like you tried me, stop trying me. Sit down. Yeah, y'all about to bring that dog out me. I'm a very gentle being when it comes to y'all, but I need y'all to listen. When I tell them all the time, listen. When mommy and daddy talk, what do? And I get them to say, listen. You listen. No matter what's going on, you stop and you listen. I need your ears to perk up. But they don't do that. They're still children. And I would say it's along the lines of, like KB said, it is patience and recognizing that chill out, bro. Chill out. It was an accident. It was one time. Right? Chill out.
Government.
Yeah, it's patience, man. It's patience and recognizing that they are, like you said, they're 5, and the phases that children go through. That's, I think, part of the shortcomings of parents. They don't educate themselves, they haven't educated themselves yet to understand when children are growing. They all go through these phases. And I remember myself, I remember Rel when he was coming up, where when we hit 5, it was the phase of questions. Everything is, I want to know why, I want to know what. I'm curious about it all. It's beautiful at the same time, but it, as a parent, is annoying as hell. Because I don't want to cuss like that on this show. But it's annoying, dog. It's really annoying to hear it from, this little being that you love so much, and they do it in a cadence that is, it scratches the back of your neck, and it makes you want to push them down just a little bit. But yeah, that's just kind of where I be coming from. Like, baby, just calm down. I hear you, and let me address one thing at a time. But as things go on, you start to lose that. You're only human, and I feel you, KB, on that patience, spill. Go ahead, bro.
Crazy part is I agree with both of y'all, man. Patience is a big thing. But for me, I think I have a slight priority over patience for me.
Okay.
I feel like I'm pretty patient with my girls.
You are.
But I will say, and this is just reflection on myself, I think presence is something I need to be better at. I need to be more present.
Example, I guess.
So for me, I know I have a weakness. My weakness is my video game, right?
Place of peace.
Yeah, it's definitely a place of peace.
Yeah.
But like I look at my neighbor, man. The guy next door to me, his kids are always outside playing, and he out there with them, all this type of shit. And I'm the main one that be like, man, these kids nowadays, they don't play outside how we used to. Yeah, nigga, cause your ass on a fucking game when these kids don't go outside. You know what I'm saying? And I just look
my
at,
boy, set your game up outside. I mean, shit.
Nah, come on. It ain't the same. Yeah,
that's just it though. No, it's just like I gotta learn to kick it to the side, man. I gotta kick it to the side and be more present for my girls and teach them how to hit a ball. Like when you came down to New Orleans the other day, well, not the other day, but a few months ago.
Yeah.
And you bought the little T-ball thing out there. That was a good moment for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if it wasn't for this, who knows if I'd have taught my kids how to hit a baseball or hit a T-ball or whatever.
Right.
So that's my thing, man. I just gotta set time out my schedule of what I want to do and be more present.
Yeah. I
man,
feel
these
like
girl dads are different.
Man.
Y'all different.
Yeah,
y'all
bro,
like all
it's a real life thing, though. It's
I'm
so
like,
real.
Man, fuck them kids.
We really just we gotta talk more. That's what it is. I think some of the stuff that maybe I've gone through, I could share. Because man, real talk is really it's about scheduling. I've gone through. Me and Bray, we had this fight of gaming. Because gaming is a relief for us. It is the weight off our shoulders at times where we could just sit out on these shoulder pads and helmet, sit it to the side and be unfiltered, and unsheltered in a way. You just kick it with the fellas and do stuff that we used to do as kids. But immediately once it's back off, and you go to bed, you wake up the next morning, all of that stuff is back on. You got to suit up. And it is heavy every single day. But what I would say is, you talk with your wife, y'all set yourself a schedule. You have your days. So far, we ain't had too much issues. Every once in a while, they kind of they run into each other. But set your day, set your time, and everything else outside of that, as long as it's reasonable, y'all get it all. I give you everything. I ain't gonna think about the game. That's what I do.
Yeah.
It so far has worked. You can give it a try, bro, and see what works for y'all. But that's why I think it's probably that's just gonna be your best chance at getting the best of both worlds. Because you ain't gonna just cut it because that's your self-care. But when it comes to giving your kids that attention, it's harder for us because of our timing of the day and what else we got going on. Because I got to teach my girl how to ride a bike now, so that's gonna have to happen. But she coming off the training wheels, so I gotta, as the dad, right? I gotta set that time aside to make sure she gets this. Otherwise, like you said, it's kind of like I'm neglecting her time of growth and not giving her what she needs and all of that. So I feel you.
Man, I think that's actually a perfect segue, unless Real the Great, unless you got another question or anything lined up. But you do.
I do.
All right.
I do.
Yeah, all right.
Let's go there.
Let's hit it. Let's go.
All right. Last question. as a father, how do you protect and guide your kids' emotions?
That's a good one.
Oh shit, that's a better segue than what the fuck I had lined up. Oh shit.
Man, I mean, because we always protecting, right? That's the first thing on our mind. Yeah, though. I think so. For me, part of it is confidence, and part of it is understanding. So I think it's half and half. Long as you can understand, her, myself, people outside of her can understand, or she can communicate her feelings, right? So she needs to first understand her feelings, and then two, be able to communicate her feelings, and then thirdly, deliver those feelings in confidence, like exactly what's going on. She recently was dealing with, like I said, she's dealing with this confidence thing. She's getting better at it, but being able to express yourself confidently is huge. She just started camp, and boy, when I tell you, I have never felt more like a protector. I'm like, yo, because it's different from her private school that she goes to, where this camp is, it's more public. It's all the kids that they might be raised different ways, and they don't, they get down with the get down. Well, for whatever reason, the spirit led me to ask her, hey, she got this pretty long hair, and we had it plaited up. The spirit asked me, hey, baby, anybody at school pulling your hair? Because it's just the right length to pull on, you know what I mean? For whatever reason, I asked that question. Nothing happened that led me to it. Real talk. I just decided to ask. I'm like, babe, anybody pull your hair at school? And she was like, yeah, this one girl, such and such, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, my chest swelled up, and I'm like, tell me more about it, and I'm getting the 411 or whatever, and she tells me, yeah, the little girl just for no reason pulls her hair. I'm like, all right, bet. So this is what we're gonna do. My whole tone switched. I I went in gorilla mode, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, all right, bet. Like, real mafia type, like, let me talk to you. So I get her right, I tell her what to do. I say, all right, look, this is what you're going to do. You go ahead, run to your teacher. You let them know what's going on, because you got a CYA first, right? And for those that don't know, cover your ass. You cover your ass first. I told the teacher, this is what your girl over here doing. She messing with me now. I need you to help. That don't work. This girl pull your hair again. You square up. You tell her, hey, chill out. I'm tired of this now. Relax. Stop pulling my hair. And she told me, like, look, this is how she rolling. This is what she doing. All right. So listen. At first I told her push it out. All right. So I'm gonna be real. I told her push it out. But look, wait, hold on. So I had to draw it back. All right, baby, hold on. Wait, listen. How big is this girl now? Before we gotta recognize, we gotta square up, we gotta see who we dealing with. Size up your opponent. So I, taught her that little piece. All right. So she said the girl her saying, all right, bet. Go ahead. Next time she pull your hair, push it out. Deal with her. Because clearly she don't recognize space. And so then I also had to recognize that I ain't taught my baby how to fight yet. So we might have a little different of an issue. So yeah, we're gonna get her right. We're gonna get her right, but she gotta defend herself. The little girls out here playing with her, pulling on her hair, that ain't cool. And the teacher or the camp counselor, whoever, letting it happen, we got to figure something out. And we ain't no punks over here. You ain't about to just be handling up. There ain't no bullies dealing with our babies. And the last thing I want to have to do is pull up on them, and we raise hell around that place. But yeah, that's how we, that little protector side came out and had to, get in her face a little bit, let her know we don't play that. And you make sure she know we don't play that. So that's my little spill. Get him jump off the little pedestal.
I think for me, if I'm answering the question, if I remember right, protecting your kids' feelings or guiding their emotions or whatnot. I think for me, I would say that I don't fully know truth be told, because you're a parent for the first time. Well, I'm a parent for the first time going through life, and I'm growing as they're growing. As a parent, they're growing as children, so on and so forth. So like, for me, the best experience that I would have is what I had in my childhood. And that's what I would relate to. So like, if you crying, like it is still a stop all that crying. Like, you know, this is this, but I'm also trying to understand the areas of my childhood where I felt like could have been improved, or, you know, it might've been a little broken. Stop all that crying for me was like, hey, well, no, you can't. I don't know how to be emotional and all that type of stuff when I get older. So for them, I understand, like, it's still stop all that crying because that's my experience. But I'm looking at them and I'm like, hey, let's talk about X, Y, and Z, so on and so forth. So
that's real.
I would say I don't know how to fully guide it, but I'm learning and I'm working on it and trying to tailor it to, since I got twin boys, like I said, each kid and what their needs are. So still learning at the end of the day.
Yeah,
that's fair. I'll say for me, I try to engage it how serious it is. So for instance, like it's been raining a lot, thunderstorms and all that type of stuff. In the city, for like the whole week. In the beginning, it was like kids crying because it's thundering. Like, hey man, chill out. Like it's thunder. You inside. You ain't gonna hurt yourself. And I try to protect them and guide the emotions in the direction of asking questions. So I'm like, baby, what you crying for? Oh, because it's thundering outside. All right. Are you hurt? Like, is anything hurting right now? Is anything killing you? Is whatever? No, I just don't like the way.
Yeah.
Right. I just don't like the way it sounds. Cool. I'm here. Your mama here. We got you. Ain't nothing gonna happen to you. Okay. Next day, you know, keep redoing that, and then Thursday come around. Thunder, you don't hit nothing. All right, so we getting somewhere. So that's kind of like my guide on how I protect them and try to get them to understand, like, it's okay to be scared. Hey, Corey, Cody, it's okay to be scared.
What you got?
It's okay to be scared. What you do when you scared? That's another quote from Daddy, right there.
Yep, that's the real
another quote.
It's all about what you do.
Hey,
funny part, real quick, because you said that. I was in a situation, I don't know how long, I might have been like 7, 8, somewhere in there. Nah, I was probably, because we was still in the same room at the time. But I never forget it, dog. And this is a little pivot story.
Can I guess?
You go ahead, guess. I don't think you can guess.
Is this when you had that dream about was it Mickey Mouse or something being like evil or some shit like that?
That was a different one, but that's not it.
Okay.
So I struggle with the dark as a kid. All right. So just you know, being transparent. But no, what happened was I think I was with my cousins. I watched The Leprechaun from the Hood.
That's a good one.
Yeah. True gangster. Leprechaun from the Hood was a true gangster, dog. And dude ugly. All right. And it just so happened the same night, the power went out. So on top of me dealing with the dark, because I struggled with the dark as a kid, on top of the power going out, I also saw The Leprechaun. And I wasn't supposed to be watching it. But I watched this movie, and I'm seeing this little shadow-ass figure of a leprechaun in my room between the beds. So I got up, and it's all about what you do when you scared, huh? I popped up off that bed and went to swing with all my strength, boy, until that sucker went back up. I'm blinking, of course, you know how that go. You blinking in the dark, and so stuff moving. So I'm swinging with all my strength, boy, and eventually get to like this corner, the shadow figure in the corner, and I'm swinging. I'm like, I'm about to get your ass now. And I swing, and, you know, I don't hit nothing, and then it just disappears. But, you know, at least in that moment, kind of just reflecting on that whole, you know, it's all about what you do when you're scared. It's funny you said that, because in that moment, I was absolutely terrified. But I'm like, I'm about to whip his ass. I'm about to give him everything. He about to get these fists, these little bitty fists. I'm about to put it on him. He ain't big enough. So I'm about to put it on him. it was nothing, you know. Eyes playing tricks on you in the dark.
Right.
Man, I think with that, like, so for like what the topic is for today, like, we've touched on a few different things, you know, with the icebreaker or whatnot. So you being scared, or, you know, what we do with kids, and maybe you feel like you're neglecting kids and so on and so forth. But, and I know y'all are girl dads, but specifically for, you know, the men aspect of it, or boys, when you're growing up, like, were y'all allowed to cry as, you know, young boys or whatever growing up?
Well, nah, that's real. Especially, I mean, for you, it's even, you're going through you're going on that same path that we did, right? But you're in the dad role, you know, so it is a little different. And I think it's more difficult as a boy dad, because you want them to also be in touch with their emotions, right? So to answer your question, most of the time, nah, it was, you know, that old school tradition of, you know, boys don't cry. That's what we grew up with. Our dad, and I know Rel, he'll chime in. Our dad is as hard nosed as we probably know. He, you know, ex-military, he police officer, you know, he older. You know, I ain't gonna put his age out there. You know, maybe we get him on this podcast. We might get him to go ahead and disclose all that, but that's the confidential files. But yeah, dude is hard nosed. I will say he is still loving in his own way, but he did what he was always taught. You know, and that's boys don't cry. Hey, get it together. Hey, man up. That's one of the most popular ones. You know, get it together. Hey, compose yourself. I know Rel know that one. That one hits so different. It's a staple in our life. Hey, compose yourself.
I got to use that shit. I got, boy, hey.
Nah, listen. It's real. It's real. But at the same time, it does also play against you. So yes, as a boy dad, in the right occasion, it's a good tool to use. As long as you're guiding them to know their emotions and know how to manage their emotions when they get old enough, I think it's a great tool to use. Especially in like sports, you know, in sports is, you know, you might want to get upset and, you know, cry,
Facts.
have a little fit or whatever.
Facts.
In all reality, life don't give a damn. I seen that on like one of them, I seen a commercial or something, some ad. This world don't care about your emotions, son. They don't care. They don't want to hear nothing about tears. At the end of the day, you got a job to do, especially when it comes to sports, right? It's a team sport. You got to do. These tears ain't gonna get it done. You got to suck it up. And that's where I think our dad usually he rooted himself, even when it didn't require it. He rooted himself in, hey, compose yourself. Get it together. We ain't got time for that. Get it together. And you gotta, you know, get it together. You pull yourself out of it and go back to work. And honestly,
So, okay.
yeah, and my last little bit, honestly, I will say, even though it was hard, I will say it molded me in a way that helped me be effective in the world. Because like I said, this world don't care about our feelings. Maybe our spouse, our family, you know, maybe even our close friends. Now, you know, world has transitioned into a different life. We can talk to other men about these feelings that we deal with. They might care. But real life, the world, they don't care. The world's going to keep rolling. It's going to keep turning. And tomorrow's going to be another day. And your feelings going to be what it is. But if you got a job to do, put it on you know. It's best to deal with it eventually, but you got to go ahead and put it on the side. Get your job done. Yeah. Go ahead, Kenny.
I think, I mean, bro, you touched on a lot there. And now it's got to get, you know, gears turning. And my question would be, like, I know both y'all grew up in the same household pretty much, you know, as brothers. You made a statement where you said, like, well, this is what he was taught from my dad or whatever. Maybe that's all he knew, X, Y, and Z. So do you think that we can't cry? Is that cultural, racial? Is it stereotypical or genetic for men to do that? Or does it hit harder? Because I can only speak about the black community. I mean, shit, I'm black.
Yeah.
I don't know what the white community does, but is it a black thing? Is it a racial thing? Is it stereotypical, cultural? Like, what do you think that comes from?
So I'll take this one. Pause.
That's a good pause, my boy.
Appreciate it. Like you said, because I'm black, I'm gonna have to say, man, it's as strong as we're talking about it, about not crying, composing yourself, getting yourself together, not letting them see your weakness.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it's almost like a cultural or racial thing. Because like we said, we ain't gonna mention our daddy age. We ain't gonna do that. But I will say I do believe that he has seen some things in his lifetime, to where it's like, hey, bro, these people out here, they see you crying, they gonna think you weak.
Right.
Or they see you crying about this specific thing. Oh, we know how to. That's another one. Oh, we know how to push his buttons now.
Yep.
Like when he used to coach us in football, he always say, I'm trying to find these certain buttons to push to get it up out you. So I can know which one is your button. And then he'll turn around and say, cool, I found your button. Yep. Now you gotta learn how to control it. Now you gotta keep that in check.
Yep. So
with that being said, man, I gotta say it's culturally, man, because you don't want your child out here just being reckless. And that's what I thought about the whole time we was having this conversation. It's just like, man, some people, I'm saying the world, the internet, whatever, they're very, I guess I'll use the word emotionally free. I guess that's the best word I could find for it. But they talk about your kids' emotions and, whippings are bad and
conscious is the word
let's go with conscious.
Yeah, it's right? Conscious parenting.
But right, but I'm sitting there thinking in my head, like, say, dog, if we weren't taught about that, like, hey, control yourself, compose yourself, we might be crash outs. Cause I'm sitting here thinking about like all these YNs that's considered crash outs. In totality, the main thing is they really just don't know how to compose themselves. Nobody taught them how to like.
That's a possibility.
This pushing your button and get a grip on it, right? Yeah. Instead, now I'm mad. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going whatever. Like
jumping off the front porch.
Facts. Compose yourself, man.
Yeah. Now, and I won't pivot on that, not pivot, but kind of caveat that and say it is it's more about the emotional I guess understanding, and composure is probably the easiest way to put it, but it's really understanding those emotions and how to deal with them, and how to communicate those emotions. Like they don't do none of that. There ain't no recognition of emotions around here. You made me mad. You pissed me off. You disrespected me, basically. There got to be consequences. That's how majority are rolling. And in so many situations, it's not always that simple. It ain't got to be that. You don't have to go from 0 to 200. It's 0 to 50. You correct these people. You feel sometimes it might just be you, bro. And I've learned that, through therapy, I've actually learned that I can project. That's another thing. Emotional intelligence, knowing that there is a such thing as projection.
Shout out to therapy.
Project facts. You projecting your emotions is a real thing. And, you imposing that on other people, thinking that they're coming at you sideways or they're disrespecting you and, this is the way of the law of the land. And that's not real, bro. You living in your own world. Everybody else ain't living there. You got to be able to compose yourself. You got to be able to recognize that these emotions you feeling, they don't rule all. You know, everybody else don't run by that. And you got to control that control that in yourself first. And then you communicate amongst the people. You come back to the people and communicate either how you feeling, you know, how this made you feel, what you think it might be. And maybe we can come to the whole time, I ain't even mean to do that. Right? Whole time, that wasn't even my intent, bro. I'm sorry. Like, that's what you could get. But some of these other dudes, because they ain't never been taught, they never gave it the attention or the time to exercise and grow. They out here just pulling triggers, or they ready to fight, or they firing off at the mouth because they about their life. Cool. We all been about their life at some point. I was about their life in college. I was, we was down to fight whenever. But thankfully, by the Lord's grace, I was able to grow. And, hopefully we can teach other young men to do the same. And in Kenny, in your situation, you got the perfect chance, right? You got them boys.
Speak for yourself, nigga. Speak for yourself, nigga. Ain't shit changed over here. Ain't shit changed over here. I'm still about that life. If you listening, if you want to pull up, we can square up, all that type of shit. I'm with it. But if I may jump in, I think my answer for that would be like, I do think it's culturally to some aspect. And by culturally, I mean like just man culture. Like a lot of men don't want their boys or whatever to be soft. Mm-hmm. So no, stop all that crying. This is this. But I do think for the Black community, racially, it stems a lot deeper. If we go back to Africa before the ship, like you probably got a 14, 15, 16-year-old, like your thing of becoming a man, maybe we're going on this hunt or whatever case may be.
Facts.
And you take it to the ship. And slavery, we talk about stop all that crying, like no, as maybe the Black guy that everybody sees to be the leader in this slave community or whatever, I'm getting whipped behind this tree or whatever case may be. No, I don't want to shed tears. Or maybe I'm teaching my son to, when massa or whatever case may be is looking at you, he doing this and this, don't you shed no tears, boy.
That's real.
You hold your chin up high, all this type of stuff, so on and so forth. So I think it's potential. I don't know for sure. I'm not a history buff, but it could have been passed down from generation to generation to generation. So now me having boys is still, son, stop all that crying. The world out there, kind of like what you were saying, they don't give a fuck about your feelings as a Black man or whatever. You cannot be weak when you walk outside this house, these doors or whatever. I don't want you to have that. However, I think where we can improve on that is, son, stop all that motherfucking crying, especially if it's something that it's not cry worthy. If you fall over and bust your face and you bleeding and tooth chipped, all that type of stuff, hey, cry. I get it. It hurt.
All right.
But you just stub your toe, son. Hey, stop all that crying. But I can also teach them the emotional intelligence or have emotional awareness behind, son, stop all that crying. Let's talk about it. What's hurting? How do you feel? How did X, Y, and Z about what I maybe said? How did that make you feel? I know I yelled. I got it. Let's talk about it. This and this. So now you're equipped with the tools later on in life when it comes to relationships with your girl or friends, whatever case may be. No, you don't crash out. Maybe you can sit down and think about it and make that cognitive decision to change the trajectory of that impulse that might be there without, hey, stop all that crying. And that's all I give you. Now you impulse. You want to crash out.
Nah, I get that. Man, you hit some huge notes with the historical factor. And I did have that thought in the back of my mind for early on. I think that is, even if it's not proven yet, I think that is 100% a variable in why we are as hard-nosed as we are growing up and how we were raised. We're growing now into this generation of being able to, identify these different emotions and communicate them amongst, our partners and our fellas. And at the same time, coming out of this other generation where they had to be, it was only a good maybe 50, 60 years ago when they just got all of this racist stuff that we deal with today. We still dealing with it low key. They was getting the raw, unfiltered stuff. They, even though slavery wasn't around, they were still in this segregation field of life and how white people taking us. They wasn't accepting us for who we were. So with that reality, they had to, with all of the different scenarios, walking across different white folks that just wasn't, cool with black people. They didn't like us being here. They had to, be hard nosed. They had to have this shell on top of a shell, on top of a shell. And then when you come home, you got to be a protector. You got to protect your family from all of this. No matter how the world may have grown a little bit, over the years, the decades, it's still, even today, as ignorant and blind as they want to be, it exists. It's as clear as we can see it, but they refuse to see it. So, with that reality, I understand. I think I can relate to that aspect as well, where, as a protector, you don't want your family to have to deal with certain things. And I think our father, much like other fathers out there who were around during certain times, when things may have been transitioning, but it's still there, they had to have this shell. They had to go through life with certain parameters around them, and have a shell, an emotional shell that made him this way. It was conditioning, is what I like to call it. It is conditioning. You've been through it so much that you're conditioned to now be this way. And unfortunately, in some respects, and some cases at the same time, it's a good thing that he passed that on to us, or he taught us this way. He taught us with this shell on that the world don't care about your emotions as much as you feel them. They just don't care.
Thanks.
So what you got to do, you bite down and you dig in and you do your job. You got a job to do no matter what. And in our situations, we are girl dads. We got to cater to those emotions, and we got to show them what it is to be loved by a man before they go out and see these other boys out here that want to be men. In your case, Kenny, speak better than I can on being a boy dad, but I can imagine, right? So I'll let you speak to that, and really, you want to chime in as well.
Just to jump in for a quick second for our audience, our listeners or whatever. This is, I guess you could say, we just gonna say this is a Father's Day special. It's gonna be a little bit longer than the normal episode. And if it's not we gonna edit the fuck out of this, and y'all would not know one way or the other. But no, man, I mean, to what you're saying, I understand a lot of what you're saying, or pretty much everything that you're saying. And for me, it just poses more questions. So I apologize for that. Just the way my mind works. Stir the pot, blah, blah, blah. Chef, how I'm listening to you and Real, y'all grew up in the same household. So like how you had this upbringing as a child. We all did. Stop crying, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. As we get older, for some men, not everybody, we understand life differently as far as raising kids and maybe where our faults are because of what we got coming from childhood. Mm-hmm. So my question basically is, I'm gonna actually start with Real or whatnot. I want to get your take. I heard, Core or whatever. I'm gonna get your take. My question would be, growing up now or being grown, does crying, let's say in front of family, just crying in general, does it hit the same way as a child? Like, do you say, hey, I can't be doing all this crying, or have you found safe spaces to be able to cry? Is it not as taboo as a childhood, upbringing to be able to do these things now? And if it's not taboo, and if you can do it freely, what changed for you to be able to do those things?
Mm-hmm. So let me clarify just so I can understand the question fully. So, am I more free to cry now than I was as a child? In so many words, I'm just trying to double check.
You broke up a little bit.
You broke up. So I'll sum it up, because I think you asking me to sum it up, basically.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we all three agree that we weren't able to cry as kids, as men, boys, growing up. So my question basically is, are you able to do that now? If you are, what changed in your life, or what did you, experience to be able to get you to be comfortable, feel safe enough to be able to cry now as an adult male?
I'm gonna say yes, but no. So I'm gonna start with the no first. I'm gonna say no because of how I was just brought up. So I'll give you a good example. So me and my wife, we went to the cabins, like the getaway cabins for our anniversary in March. And we was playing this game, and it asked the question of what was the hardest. I'm trying to remember how it was questioned.
Give us the gist. It's cool.
It was like I think it was like what's one of the losses to where you weren't able to say goodbye or something like what was the hardest loss to where you didn't get a chance to say goodbye or something like that. And she asked the question just playing the game. And she didn't really understand that question, it was gonna hit me that hard because I had just lost a partner, right?
Wait, ask the question again, because I think it might have cut out on us. You said,
okay,
what one of the hardest losses?
It was like, what's a hard loss when you didn't get the chance to say goodbye?
Okay, I got you.
And I was
so
saying
you recently lost a partner
that
and so it hit you a lot harder.
I'm trying to wait for the okay, there we go. I was saying that she asked that question like just playing the game, but I don't think she understood that, you know, how heavy that question was. And I was saying that one of my partners, a close friend of mine, had just died like 2 days or 3 days before that. Like I want to say we had just buried him, and that question hit me hard.
Yeah,
and
I was grieving.
And I just started crying, bro. And I'm doing one of those, you know what I'm saying, like trying to keep it in, you know what I'm saying, and the reason why I'm gonna say yes is because of that same situation. Because she told me like, damn,
let it out.
like I didn't, like I didn't. If I would have thought about this question fully, I wouldn't have asked it. But because we're here, bro, just let it out. Like talk your talk, say what you gotta say, get it off your mind.
It was just y'all, or you had people?
No, it was just us.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Right, but still, I mean,
that's
being conditioned, right? Being taught to like keep your composure, being taught to like stay solid, all this other type of stuff. Being taught all that, I was trying to hold it in. So that's why I say no. But to say yes on the same side of that, it's like my wife, my kids, they've allowed me that space to be like, hey dog, you could be emotional. You could be emotional. We ain't the world. You know? We ain't these people on the street that might test you. You could be real with us. So that's what I got.
Yeah. No, I think that kind of hit the nail on the head as far as experiences go, and in your situation, I think that was perfect, though. Your spouse being able to recognize that this was a vulnerable moment and not, look at you as weak or, soft or whatever. Like, she knew what you was dealing with. That's what we need as men. We need from our spouse to recognize these emotions that we deal with, and that it's not, us just being soft. Like, as hard as we we are every day, we still human. We still got emotions. We manage them as best we can, but there's still a soft side. And Kenny, yeah, you too. Because I know you over there holding it in the back pocket like, nah. Yeah, you too. You got these emotions that as men we got to deal with.
And emotions, what are those?
Right. No, they in there. And, it's just, they're more present, I think, probably as girl dads. We see them more often, and we got to face them more often. But I think, Karel, you mentioned another situation where dad, you got to just let it die.
The government.
Just let it go, bro. Act like it didn't happen.
The government acts crazy.
I'm
being your brother.
I can't help myself. I can't help myself. All right. But listen, no, I think you hit it. You made a great point of like, this is the way we was raised. Because I remember our dad, he's had many moments where he lost people, but his emotional, I guess, his way of emotionally processing the situation is to seclude himself. He secludes himself from the entire family. He goes off in his corner, and he deals with those emotions until I guess he's more comfortable and he can talk to everybody. But, we never got to see him cry like that. I've seen him cry once in my life, maybe twice. But that tells a lot. I'm 36. Out of my whole life, I've only seen him really cry twice. So that speaks volumes to me. To answer the question, am I in a place now where I feel like I can cry in front of my family? Yes. Did I feel like I could do that growing up? No. But yeah, I've grown, and I'm at this place now. I haven't cried in front of my girls yet, I don't think. Not in the sad space, at least. I think I might have teared up here and there, in joyous moments, but not like boo-hoo and like, the whole sniffles and trying to keep it together, letting it, fighting it. I haven't been there yet. And, life will do that to you. But so far, I'm able to manage. I've cried in front of my wife. She's supportive and she's there for me and all of that. We're there for each other. But, that's my answer to the question. Like, I think it is a good thing, to be able to do that in front of your family.
I'll say, as quick as I can with that one. For one, y'all dad might watch this podcast episode, which is crazy. He gonna hear this. That's a wild. Yeah, I hope you see this. But two, for me, it's a lot less taboo. It's those moments are still there. We're like, no, I'm not gonna cry. Like I asked one of my sons the other day, like, hey, y'all ever seen Daddy cry? They was like, no. Like, okay. But for me, moving to Huntsville, joining the greatest fraternity in the world, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Good plug there. But being around those guys, in all honesty, they gave me a particular safe space that I didn't have growing up. Mm-hmm. Like we talked about everything, politics, raising kids, marriages, this and so on and so forth. And there was a moment after meeting these guys to where I hit a like emotional low in a particular, whether it was my relationship or whether it was my cousin. I remember something was going on. That's another podcast for another day. But I was on all fours, like literally all fours, pause, crying in front of my frat brother's yard, like boo-hooing, like broken based on what was going on with my cousin. And it wasn't a place of like, nigga, that's soft, that's this and this. Yeah. It was like welcoming, like, hey, brother, I know you in pain right now. I feel what you're going through. We here if you need it. Let me know what you need. It was that. So it was very opposite of childhood. Stop all that crying. And I'm hurting. It was, hey, what do you need right now? How can we help? And so having moments like that over the course of time gave me the ability to say, it's okay to cry in front of other men. It's okay to cry in front of family, like all these different things. I wouldn't trade that for the world. So those are things that I'll pass on to my kids, even though they don't see me crying. I'll be able to walk them through their experiences of crying a lot better than what I was given as a child at the end of the day.
No, facts. That's huge. And yeah, maybe God forbid it's anything sad, but even the joyous moments, bro, you open up and it's all right to let them see you, shed a few tears here and there. Like it's okay. I've like I said, I've had those moments of like growth, seeing them grow, and it's such a proud moment that it brings you to tears. It's okay to let that out. Let them see it and let them know, what it is, so that they know it's cool. It's not a big deal. It's just you processing.
Man, facts.
Because that is something that we often had to shy away from as kids coming up. Our dad wasn't necessarily, and I would say this. I don't know what he's thinking or what he felt in those moments, but I can say he didn't communicate it. That's what I can say. He didn't say it's okay to cry, or it's okay to feel whatever you feeling in these moments. You know what I mean? Like it's, if you felt like you might have needed to cry or something, it was either, you sad or you upset about something, compose yourself, or it's, it is what it is. It's a great moment, you move on. But there was no in between.
Man, that's huge. And like I said, I know we kind of on the tail end of the episode, so
Yeah.
I would ask a question to y'all. It's just a hypothetical question or a question for y'all to take with y'all, and then I'll ask the question, like I guess in closing and wrapping up type deal. Hypothetical question is this specifically for the co-host on the episode, but is there a way, even though your dad is undisclosed age, because we don't know, I don't know, the audience doesn't know, is there a way, however old your dad is, to get him to come to the side of openness as far as like crying or sharing those things or whatever? Like, how would you do it? How would you approach it? Is he too far, for lack of a better term, indoctrinated to where I'm not going to change, I'm stuck in my ways type deal? Or is there a way that you and your brother can approach him to get him to soften up, as we've talked about a little bit on this episode? You know, that's just for y'all. Put that in your back pocket, hold on to it, whatever case may be.
Yeah.
But I guess in closing, I would say, is it wrong? Is there a solution for boys crying at a younger age? Like, what do we do to actually make it better for the future relationships of our sons, men, this and this, yada, yada, yada? That's a stereotype. We don't cry. We don't show emotions, all that type of stuff. So what is the solution for that? What do we do differently as a culture or whatever?
I mean, my knee-jerk reaction, right? My instinctive thought when I process that question is, you know, a lot of what we've already discussed, whereas emotional intelligence, you know, educating ourselves and teaching our children how to understand their emotions. That's the best weapon, the best, you know, tools we can have to get them in the right position and handle those situations. Without it, they gonna come up kind of like we did or worse, right? They gonna have to process on their own, and it's gonna come out how it comes out. But without that understanding of what this is and how to deal with it, you know, that some situations you have to compose yourself. You have to. You know, if you cross the police and, you know, they pull you over for whatever reason, you feel like you're right. I had that situation myself. I was hard up about to argue this police officer. And first thing I did was call my dad, him being an ex-police officer or whatever at the time, to get his insight, because I knew I could lean on him. And she pulled me over talking about I'm doing, you know, 20 over the speed limit. I know, like, yeah, I was speeding a little bit, but you ain't about to say I was doing 20, you know, on that type of energy. And he, hey, you know, don't say nothing. And that's a different light we got to deal with as, you know, black people, for one, but also black men dealing with the police. And I'm in my stature, you know, I'm 6'2", 2 something at that particular time. I can't be coming at this lady, this police officer, in any kind of aggressive manner trying to dispute what she's saying. And so,
yeah, that's a hood nigga build for sure.
Facts. I had to talk to him, you know, I had to tell him what was going on, and thankfully I had my dad to talk to me. A lot of these other fellas don't have that, but he was able to talk me down and to help me process those emotions of, you know, dispute that I was having. You basically, I felt like he was lying on me. And you know how we can be about, you know, those type of things as men. Like, don't lie on my name. You know, don't put words in my mouth. Don't disrespect me. Don't disrespect me. All these fall in that same boat. And that's what she was doing. She was saying I did something that I didn't do. And so I'm standing there trying to argue, you know, with him on the phone, and he like, hey, nah. In so many words saying, yo, compose yourself. Get it together. We're not doing that. Let it go. Let it, you know, you're going to have your day in court. And that was the end of it. For the most part, but it's still a hard pill to swallow as a young man, you know, and it even, you go down the line, even younger, it's even harder. But starting it early is, I think, the best advantage you're going to have as a boy dad, you know, for us as girl dads, being able to teach our kids how to process their emotions, you know, analyze it, understand it, and communicate it. That's going to be probably the harder part. Being able to actually get people to understand what you're feeling so that they know how to communicate to you and how y'all get through it together.
Yeah, I fucks with that. Real, what you got?
I think Corey hit the nail on the head, man. I guess the best thing I could put under is, man, pay attention to your kids and communicate. I feel like the story that I used earlier is like how dad was trying to find the right buttons to push to see what make us tick, right? Man, pay attention to your kids and see what makes your kids tick. And then you use those moments to just build off it. You know, like, hey, my daughter don't like when I poke her all the time. She get aggravated. She whatever. All right, cool. The aggravation turned to like anger. She start crying. All right, cool. Let's take it back a second, baby. Why you crying? What's on your mind? Well, I don't like when you do that. Okay, why? I just don't like it. It's aggravating. All right, so moving forward, what we do when something's aggravating you? What we do when something's like getting on your last nerve? Like, yeah, it's all right to cry. And now you're in the safe space of your own home. But what about like when you're out in the world? What's gonna happen then? Like, let's talk about it. Let's figure out a way to defeat this problem before it gets bigger. So that's my main thing. You know, the whole conscious parenting thing is all cool, and if that worked for some people, cool. Knock yourself out. I'm not saying, you know, it's right or wrong because there's no book to this parenting shit. But I will say you can't go wrong with paying attention to your kids and communicating. That's what I got.
Real.
I don't disagree with that. I would say, as parents, in my opinion, maybe piggybacking off of both of y'all in different lights, we have to stop with for parents, we want instant gratification. Hey, stop that crying, stop doing this, stop doing that, X, Y, and Z. And I think that's detrimental to the future growth of the kid. Like, I think as parents, we have to be more forward thinking of how is what I'm saying and what I'm doing affecting my child right now, and how will it affect them in the future? What are the ripple effects of what I'm saying? If I tell you stop all that crying and I give you no tools to emotionally express yourself, now we're seeing in society with especially black men, we don't know how to express ourselves. We don't know how to communicate. We don't know how to do this. We don't know how to do that. All because going back to their childhood, stop crying. And that's all we give them. We take our hands off, stop crying. You supposed to be tough. Big boys don't cry. All that type of stuff. Yeah. We have to be more forward thinking in understanding and realizing how that might affect them in the future. So long story short, short story shorter, as parents, we got to do research. We got to understand. We got to be better. Where is the line broken from what we experience as kids? How do we improve upon that? The moment we understand that, now we can equip them to be better for their spouses, or better for their friendship, better from impulse control in the future. So I think that's the way that we should go into at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Like I agree. We lost Corey for a second.
Yeah, it's Father's Day, so he probably getting some kids' ass over there. Had to jump off. He won the podcast to see you.
I heard him saying something about you doing some stuff you ain't supposed to.
I said Coty, and he probably got the most whoopings when he was younger. He doing shit he ain't supposed to be doing, pressing buttons and all that type of shit.
All right. That's crazy, because that's what I literally was over here saying. Like, I'm over here touching shit that I probably shouldn't be touching.
Exactly.
I'll push the button, and next thing you think, all this went left.
Belt to ass. I understand. Your dad had belt to ass. He had badass kids. That's what it was.
I was trying some stuff. I'm like, I wonder what this do. While y'all was talking, and next thing you know, shit started freezing up. I was like, well, yeah, I don't know what it do. I'll mess with it later. I don't know. It look 3 dot. It look like it's just for our audio, but yeah, I was messing with the little software, and next thing you know, something cut off. It's like, dang, I should have waited. But yeah, no, I think that was a good
for sure.
A good little, closing. That the way that ended. Until next time, right?
Yeah, until next time.
I'm sure we'll come up with some good stuff on the next one. Appreciate everybody for chiming in, and listening in. We plan on getting all this out there to social media so we can hear y'all stories and, you know, get y'all input on some of these topics.
1,000.
But, you know, we got our opinions, you know, we got our stories. We've been through our little situations, and we just wanted to share with y'all. You know, we want to kind of come through with like-minded people and express that growth, you know, express these feelings and show how growth can change people and you know, for the better. Right?
Facts.
So on this good old Father's Day, I think we gonna get ahead and sign out.
Well, before you do, for the men that
my
might be
bad.
listening that, you know, you're not currently a father, you know, Father's Day can be yours too, a holiday for you too. Just remember to shoot the club up in the parking lot, and you have a happy Father's Day. Now we can sign out.
Oh, you know what? Nah, one more. We got game night.
Oh shit, you right.
Game night.
Shameless
so
plug.
Y'all see it behind me, right? I don't know if the focus is on point, but we got Let's Go Games. We got a game night usually every month. Right now, we got game night coming up on June 21st. Next month is the 26th. Sorry, out here in Huntsville, and in August we'll actually be in Atlanta. So, July we're gonna have your boy Rel the Great out here with KB the Chef. So we're gonna have the full crew out here on the podcast, and we're gonna shoot the shot, shoot the podcast during that game night. And yeah, Atlanta, we come to see y'all in August.
Strip club,
New
strip
Orleans,
club. Yeah.
Slidell.
All those places.
We come to see y'all in October.
Strip clubs there too.
I hope y'all ready.
Yeah.
We bringing all the vibes, all the fun.
Slidell.
Man, relax. We're not doing scuttlebutts. I've never been, but it just don't.
Yeah,
the name
it
don't do
don't
well
look
with me.
right.
So, you know, nah,
I don't even know what that is.
Scuttlebutts
Like, I'm
don't
from
sound
Alabama.
right.
Like what?
That sound like number old booty.
It do.
But yeah, we gonna go ahead and stay away from scuttlebutts. We got all the good vibes we need at Let's Go Games. We non-traditional games, and we running it. Got all the crew coming through. See y'all next time.
We going to Scuttlebutts.
We going
Fuck
to
your brother. What he
Scuttlebutts,
talking
man.
about? Like we going to Scuttlebutts. Like
hey,
nigga
y'all
about to
gotta
live.
relax.
Yeah. Hey man, before we get off, I don't know if y'all want to do some shout outs, but
Pause.
Crazy, and you called him. Say before we get off is wild.
Oh, brother.
On the hip. Right.
Relax,
man. Compose yourself. We just talked about this.
It's Pride Month.
Jesus
I don't
Christ.
care. It's Pride Month.
Oh, that's what we doing. That's
It's
what we
Pride
coming.
Month.
All right.
Anyways.
I hear you, young brothers. All right.
Crazy. It's
Let's
Pride
hear-
Month.
let's hear what he talking
we can
about.
do this. Is wild.
Let's hear what he's talking about.
Man.
Let's go.
Hey, yo,
Shout out
who
to
brother is this?
our-
Like, hey, yo.
Big Theo, happy Father's Day. Shout out to Skip.
Master
Yeah.
Theo.
Shout out to Skip, happy
Yeah.
Father's Day. Kenny, happy Father's Day to your pops.
Hey, likewise.
Yeah.
Well, he
I
was
don't
like,
know.
yeah, salute.
I don't know who else we got
Yeah,
out here,
yeah.
but yeah, that's all my shout out.
All our
Yeah.
uncles and all that we got out there. Our good friend, close friends out there. Shout out to them.
Yeah. Shout out to Cap Outside, some of these other fraternities, you know what we talking about. Yeah, there we go.
Bad. Yeah, well, until next time, we gonna shoot the shits again on Let's Go There. Peace.
Salute.